Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And to all my brothers out here preaching this truth to you, I say Shalom. This is Amontazar from the Chicago camp, coming back at you again with another lesson entitled Thinly Veiled Threat. So here you see the crashing and the burning of the Genesis camp, okay, formerly of Sakari. And we watched Sakari crash and burn last year, okay? And we saw their head, Alazar, aka Gorilla Hebrew, be exposed for pegging and shit and being a cuckold, all right, with his wife. Some real freaky shit, all right? And so now we see the pimp, okay? We see the pimp, the deacon, okay? The so-called priest Hakah, and his beautiful and talented wife, okay, who can actually rap. She actually cold with it. He probably saw dollar signs when he heard her flow. And he probably told her, I could make you a celebrity overnight. All right. And so the Lord flipped that on him and using this woman to expose him. All right. Now, very, very serious, okay, is the fact that we're going to hear in this lesson that he issued a thinly veiled threat. And he's in good company. And the reason why I say that is because he's wicked. All right. Gorilla Hebrew issued a thinly veiled threat when his woman exposed him in the form of a Joker card. You guys remember that? R. Kelly is known for issuing thinly veiled threats. Okay. Before prison and even inside of prison. Same thing with Diddy. Diddy has issued thinly veiled threats prior to him going to prison and while in prison. Okay? All right, so that's what these wicked men do. Okay? So let's see what this thinly veiled threat is all about. Okay? Because we've seen them in movies. You watch a mobster movie and you'll see a mobster tell someone, hey, you got a beautiful family. I'd hate for anything to happen to any one of them. Okay? A thinly veiled threat is an indirect warning of harm, retaliation, or negative consequences that is disguised with innocent language but remains completely obvious to the listener. The speaker attempts to mask their hostile intent to maintain plausible deniability, yet the underlying menace is easily understood. Breakdown of the phrase. Threat. A statement or sign of an intention to inflict pain, injury, damage, or hostile action on someone. Veiled, hidden, covered, or disguised. Thinly, lightly or poorly. A thin disguise means it's highly transparent and fails to truly hide what is underneath. Some common examples. An example in the workplace. If someone was to say, it would be a real shame if your performance review suffered because you couldn't stay late tonight. Or in a legal or business dispute. You have a beautiful business here. I'd hate to see local regulations suddenly make it impossible for you to operate. An interpersonal conflict. You can make that choice if you want, but just remember that actions always catch up to people. Why people use them. Plausible deniability. If confronted, the speaker can claim they were simply expressing genuine concern or stating a neutral fact. Legal protection. Direct threats of violence or extortion are illegal in most jurisdictions, whereas indirect statements are much harder to prove as criminal intent. There it is right there. All right. The woman makes the claim that the deacon told her in an altercation that he would pay someone allegedly $20,000 to off her. You think the woman ain't gonna record everything thereafter? If you then told the woman, if the man then told the woman, okay, allegedly that he would pay someone $20,000 to off her, she recording every damn thing. Psychological manipulation. It creates an atmosphere of fear, anxiety, and uncertainty, forcing the victim to alter their behavior without a formal escalation. So, in other words, it's a psychological manipulation tool to make you get your ass in line. I'm going to say this shit and I'm going to imply what I want you to understand so you can get your ass in line. Okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at the video. We're going to listen to it. Okay? And you're going to hear his thinly veiled threat. I'll turn the volume down because I don't want it to be distorted. Okay, here we go.
Very different. Right now, I'm separated again. And the way things ended this last time was not small. It was not just an argument. It was not something that could be talked through or fixed overnight. It was one of those moments where everything becomes super clear, where you realize this is not sustainable, this is not safe for me, and this is not something that I can keep carrying. And I'm going to talk about exactly what happened in this series, because that moment is a big part of why I'm here today. I also posted a link to my Substack below, which is a blog website where you can go to and read my entire story. I'm trying to find a way to provide for myself and my daughter after what I experienced as financial abuse in my marriage. And I say that because from my experience, I was left financially devastated. Over the course of this relationship, I lost over $60,000. My credit was destroyed, and I ended up filing for bankruptcy. And I was left trying to care for our daughter while disabled and financially dependent on him, completely. So when people ask, why is she speaking publicly or say I'm out of order or disrespectful for talking about my husband, I need people to understand something. I did not come here first. In this community, I felt like there was nowhere else to go. We had councils with multiple elders. We spoke with other leaders, Al-Azhar, also known as Guerrilla Hebrew, Captain Tazama, Priest Kahan and his wife Malakiyah, Priest Danya Allah. These were all people my husband claimed to respect. There were opportunities for correction, accountability, and someone to get through to him. And from my experience, none of it changed anything. He did not listen. He did not take advice. He did not receive counsel in a way that brought safety, stability, or change to this situation. And when children are involved, when your livelihood is on the line, and when your future is being affected, silence completely stops being an option. I also want to say something clearly before I continue. During one of our altercations while I was pregnant, he told me he would pay someone $20,000 to get rid of me. I have documentation surrounding that incident, and I will speak more about it later in this series. So if anything were to ever happen to me, I need it understood that statements like that were made directly to me during this relationship.
You think you're funny. You think it's all fun and games. Like, why do you want me to get into a point where I don't care what the Israel? Why do you want me to get to a point to where I could really?
It's not my fault.
No. Listen to me. Do you not care that I could turn into a greasy ass nigga and say fuck the Israelites and all of that and really get on you in a whole type of way that you couldn't even respond to? Why do you want to push a nigga there?
I don't.
Like, why do you want me?
I don't.
You know I got more money than you and your whole family. Why would you want me to just like say, all right, fuck that. I'm about to just slaughter this bitch. Why do you want me to do it?
You want to do that. That's not what I want you to do. That's what you want to do.
Kill you and your family. That's what I want to do. I want to kill you and your family.
Why do you want to kill me and my family? Why would you even bring that up?
I just asked you a question, you fucking dummy. I want to kill you and your family. That's what you're saying?
That's what you're saying. I didn't bring that up. Who brought that up?
When the...
Who brought that up. I never said you want to kill me and my whole family.
You know what? Here's a...
You just heard it. The man just said, why would you, as if to blame her, why would you want to push me to be a greasy nigga? Where I would say, fuck this shit and just slaughter this bitch. You see that? That's a thinly veiled threat. And to say, why would you want me to kill you and your family? You see? So, yeah, that's a woman hearing something like that. Yeah, she's going to definitely record every fucking conversation thereafter. All right? This is Deuteronomy 5:17. It says, thou shalt not kill. And that kill is going into murder. Okay? Righteous men don't murder people. Okay? The men of the Lord don't murder people. All right? Matthew 19:16. And behold, one came and said unto him, good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, and that is the Most High. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. He said unto him, which? Yahushua said, thou shalt do no murder. That was number one. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. The young man saith unto him, all these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I? Yahushua said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. This deacon, he must have a little bankroll, okay? Because he's leading with it, okay? Last year when I did a lesson on him, when he said when he's done with YouTube, okay, he was talking about his lifestyle and how when he was done with YouTube, he was going to, this is what he was going to do, his plans after YouTube. And there is no such thing, okay? We're supposed to wax old in this work. And we're supposed to preach this word to the Lord, puts an end to it. We don't just walk away. Anyway, in closing, this is Isaiah 2:11. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and Yahweh alone shall be exalted in that day. For the day of Yahweh of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low. So right now, the deacon, Hakah, okay, priest Hakah, the freaking deacon, is being brought low. And the Lord is using his beautiful and talented wife to do it, to expose him. This has been Thinly Veiled Threat. I pray that this lesson has been edifying. Until the next one, Shalom.